Hello, everyone, and welcome back to day 2 of New York Giants training camp recap here on the Giant Take YouTube channel. I saw a ton of people there today on Twitter posting clips, etc., and can't wait to get there and be able to create content actually at training camp, which will be really awesome in a couple of weeks. Josh isn't with me today, but I'll still talk through all the important bits. Obviously, day 2, a little bit quieter than day 1 usually, and it's no different in this situation. But let's get through some of the things that happened today at practice. So the practice yesterday was very much red zone oriented. Today was very much focused on third down situations, third and short, third and medium specifically. And we saw a lot of that throughout practice in the team drills. In terms of some key highlights, Wan'Dale Robinson looked extremely sharp. He made a couple of nice grabs, and he took a snap at running back in individual drills, which is interesting to see. Also, Kadarius Toney did as well. So I think we're going to see how those two guys are kind of moved around during the season. We'll see what happens. Obviously, lots of motion like day 1. And, it definitely, we'll have to see what happens with that, but it certainly looked like this offense is going to be fluid. It's going to be moving, and you're not going to be able to see what's coming. Similarly to Wink's defense, Mike Kafka's offense is also going to be extremely unpredictable. Some negatives here. Drops. A lot of drops today. Kenny Golladay, Kadarius Toney, Darius Slayton. Obviously, Darius Slayton got the bulk of the hate online, as he always does. I always talk about this. We talk about this in the episodes. On all the podcast networks. Sometimes we post clips here on the YouTube channel, but I always am kind of a Darius Slayton defender. But in this case, he had a pretty bad drop today, I will admit. But so did Kenny Golladay and so did Kadarius Toney, which is a little concerning. Obviously, day 2 of training camp, so it's good that they're doing it in training camp and hopefully not in the games. That's the most important thing. Darnay Holmes continuing his streak of playing well here from day 1. He had another diving interception here on day 2 in team drills, which was, very impressive. And he's certainly solidifying himself as nickel corner number 1. There was a bit of an injury scare, actually, that during individual drills, he kind of ran into this garbage can that they had kind of to mimic like an actual player being there. And it looked like he was shaken up a bit, but he came back for team drills. So that's definitely a good sign. And certainly happy about that. You don't want any injuries this early into training camp. Richie James put on a show today. I know Justin from Talking Giants has been saying it's Richie James summer. I don't know if it's a joke or he's being somewhat serious. We'll have to find out. But Richie James is certainly pushing for that wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5 spot come the 53-man roster release. And it looks more and more likely that he will make the team. Josh and I had him making the roster in our 53-man roster prediction as our wide receiver 6. So we'll see what happens. Maybe he pushes himself a little bit up the depth chart. Had a nasty cut against Darnay Holmes, who obviously has been the star of training camp so far, and certainly looks very good so far. Next, Quincy Roche, kind of a fan favorite, I'd say, from last year. Got cut by the Steelers when after he was drafted, I believe, in the 3rd or 4th round by them. So kind of a shock cut. But the Giants ended up picking him up in waivers. And he played admirably, I'd say, throughout the season for the Giants last season, especially when behind Azeez Ojulari, there was really not a lot going on in the edge rusher department, and certainly had a decent impact. But this year, under Brian Dable, Joe Shane, all the new coaches, Wink Martindale, he is playing with the 3rd string team. He's behind O'Shane Ximines, behind Ellerson Smith, behind Azeez Ojulari, and obviously behind Kayvon Thibodeau. So a little bit interesting, Jihad Ward as well. So Quincy Roche kind of on the cusp, it seems, of kind of being on the outside looking in of this 53-man roster. One final thing here before we get to a quote from post-practice interviews per se. The Giants have kind of placed firm film restrictions on beat reporters, so now you're not going to see clips from them. So we are only able to now get clips from fans who are at training camp. So ever more important, way more important now than ever, to make sure that all of these Giants fans who are there are sharing clips to those who aren't. I know, I've appreciated that, and I'll make sure to return the favor when we're at training camp, and hopefully we'll upload lots of clips as well. But that's something to keep in mind. Finally, here's Saquon Barkley. Him and Leonard Williams did some post-practice presser. Leonard Williams didn't really have anything interesting to say, but Saquon Barkley kind of had that poster board quote, and he said, "I just want to show the Giants that the guy they drafted is still here." Obviously, Saquon has struggled with injuries ever since getting to the Giants, ever since his rookie year. And, hopefully 2 years out from his ACL tear now, can he get back to his old self? We'll have to wait and see, but he certainly had a strong start to training camp, lining up on the outside, and hopefully going to be used more as a receiver in Brian Dable and Mike Kafka's offense. All right, I think that is pretty much it for today. Like I said, not a lot that happened today in training camp. It was kind of a quieter day. Yesterday we had what the first team, the second team was, and today we don't have all that stuff. But definitely enjoyed seeing everything that happened today, and can't wait for tomorrow. And we'll see you next time. Peace.